Television coverage of high school sports is back with WPTI TV Channel 10. It's Northern Illinois Conference basketball at its best with the WPTI sports team. And now, the WPTI Nick 10 Game of the Week.
Well, this is Brian Wright along with Chad Kaufman and Dave Westman with the high school basketball at its best on WPTI Sports. And this is the final game of the regular season. The season where the Freeport Pretzels were extremely successful, having clinched at least a share of the conference championship just last week. Now they stand right now at 13-4 in the conference. In second place, the East E-Rabs with a 12-5 record. So you can see that if Hononegah would upset Freeport tonight and East beat Jefferson, the Pretzels and the E-Rabs would tie for the conference championship. So here tonight, both teams on the floor, primed and ready to go for action, having somewhat different motives for winning, that's for sure. The Jayhawks are last place in the conference. They need to win to have a good start for the regionals. The E-Rabs for the conference championship and also the regionals. Welcome, gentlemen. Chad Kaufman and Dave Westman. We should have a Super Bowl game tonight. One thing we should bring up, Chad, is the fact that for East High School, Mike Schutte is out due to an injury. And as we all know, he's great coming off the bench.
Well, the last time I saw him, a couple times I've seen him this year, he's been terrific coming off the bench. Sometimes I wonder why he isn't starting. Maybe he's a better bench player. But you're right, East needs this win tonight, and Freeport needs a loss. For Jefferson, it's basically for pride and morale, tune up for the regional.
Okay. Had a chance to spend some time in the locker rooms of both coaches today for the E-Rabs and the Jefferson J-Hawks. As we all know, or maybe you're not quite familiar with it, the E-Rabs throw on a super press, and it's caused numerous turnovers for various teams in the conference this year. However, the Jefferson J-Hawks and head coach Ed Ehrman really believe they have a way to break this press. The O's, as you can see here, are the East E-Rabs playing defense on the Jefferson J-Hawks. J-Hawks throwing it in full court-wise. What they will do tonight, this man will break around the defender, come up, get the pass. At the same time, this man will release from a pick, go down here, and hopefully go coast to coast for the layup. So we have this offensive man going up for the pass, hopefully getting it. Now, there's a lot of hopefuls in here to make it work. If he gets the pass here, he quick turns around. This man releases down to the other end, breaking the press, and hopefully for the easy layup for the Jefferson J-Hawks. But never fear, the E-Rabs are here, and they know how to defend that also. It's going to be a struggle, Dave Westman, to see if that can come off. If they do, the Jayhawks will get some easy points real quick-like, and could change the complexion of this ball game.
Of course, it might work a couple of times, but I can't believe that it will work more than a couple of times because the East E-Rabs will probably pick something like that up.
Well, they also mentioned that this man, the second man in, can get a good shot at the layup, as you can see here on the diagram. Instead of this man releasing, they could send this man streaking down the court and shuffle it up. And if these men aren't on their toes right here, why, you can see that there could be a big problem there for the E-Rabs. But like you say, Dave, I can't believe that it could work for a long, long time. Chad Kaufman, the Jayhawks. They are 5-12 in the conference. If we can get the stats up on the screen in just a few moments here, we can see that the Freeport Pretzels #1 with a 13-4 conference record and a thrilling 16-8 overall. And then the Jayhawks 5-12, 6-16 overall, right at the bottom of your screen. And the coaches say here at Jefferson High School that the Jayhawks seem like they can beat the world one Friday night or Tuesday night, whatever it might be, and turn around and lose an easy one the next time.
Well, it looks like they've lost a lot more Tuesday and Friday night's game than they've ever won, but I think it's been a surprising season for Jefferson. I think they had some young men coming back. I think they thought they were going to have a good year, and it's really been a downer for them.
I think that also the East E-Rabs are prone to be upset. They've been upset several times this year by schools that really, in my opinion, have no business beating them. I think that they tend to get up for the good schools and just kind of let down on some schools that maybe they shouldn't. So we might see Jefferson do it tonight.
Let's get to the starting lineups for tonight's basketball game, and it should be a good one. Right here at WPTI Sports. We're just about ready for game time. Let's get those starting lineups in. Number 24, Levette Marshall for East. 34, Odell Kidwell. Number 40, Mark Madden. Number 20, Tuck Hobson. Number 12, Anthony Polk. And we've got 6'1", 6'4", 6'6", 5'8", and 5'7" in order there for East. For Jefferson, number 11, Victor Madlock. Number 42, Heath Mason, a junior starting. And number 41, Dave Thorson. Number 22, Zane Hathaway. Number 14, Matt Zaire. And we have 6'8", big Dave Thorson in the middle there. In the center position, Zane Hathaway, 5'10", and Matt Zaire is 5'8". We should bring up that this is senior night for the Jefferson J-Hawks, and this is the last game that the seniors will play in this gymnasium. Ed Harriman gave sort of a pep talk before the game, before they went out on the basketball floor. Gave a pep talk and said, listen, guys, when the game is over, you better come in here totally exhausted, because you're not going to have another chance to come back out here unless it's a rec league or something like that, and I think we can all relate to that. So it's senior night here, but I'm sure Ed Harriman won't jeopardize a victory because of that senior night, Chad.
Well, we saw that last week at Hononegah where it was, I believe it was senior night there.
Yeah, it was.
They played a lot of seniors, but when Harlem came back and made it close, he put his regular starting lineup back in there, and they pulled away. But I think you'll see the same thing tonight if Jefferson has a chance to win this game.
What about the regional tournament coming up? Let's take a look at how things shape up there after a course of a regular season. Ike Johnson said that he's not too thrilled looking forward to the regional play because it's just too hard to get primed and ready to go for it. And he might use this game here tonight, Chad, to do that priming. Could that be dangerous?
Well, not necessarily. Although East High is playing at Guilford, I think the Guilford Regional. And Guilford is the team I mentioned 3 or 4 weeks ago I thought was coming on, and they've done a pretty good job. They're in 3rd place right now. So East High is playing on Guilford's home court, and that's going to be tough over there. I think Freeport may have it locked up in Freeport, although they're a team like East High, they're prone to get upset too.
Okay, we're coming up in just a little bit. We'll share some information with you about the regional basketball tournaments coming up. All tickets went on sale for the respective regionals that are coming up at Freeport, Guilford, and here comes the, my goodness, the crowd comes alive as the East E-Rabs are about to be introduced. But the regional tournament coming up, it's a big one. And you have to wonder if the teams are ready to go. Let's say a team like Jefferson can really come on strong in the regionals. They could go a long way. They have the quality of players that I think could go the distance, at least to the super sectional.
Well, I think any team in the NIC-10, I think it's been proven all year long. They all can beat each other. I don't think there's any real outstanding team in the NIC-10, and I think you may see a big surprise coming out of this area.
What about Freeport and Hononegah going at it tonight? Freeport loses, and East wins. They tie for the conference championship. Well, Hononegah has the caliber, I think, to do that.
Absolutely. Hononegah has been the big surprise in the NIC-10 as far as basketball. I think everybody figured they're going to be good in football, but basketball, they've been a surprise. They've got some young ball players. I look for Hononegah in the next couple of years to be very tough. But they could upset Freeport tonight. Auburn beat Freeport at Auburn. I think Hononegah could do it, too.
Coming up this Tuesday night at Freeport High School, the Pretzels play the Auburnites in the first round of the Class AA IHSA Regional Playoffs. Tip-off time, 7:30. The price for a seat, only $2. Guilford High School started selling tickets today for their regional tournament that will put the Huskies up against the Jefferson J-Hawks. That is Monday night at 8 p.m., Guilford High School. Again, ticket price is only $2. Real small price to see some pretty good basketball. Also coming up Wednesday night, the Boylan Titans do battle with the West Warriors at the Freeport Regional. Game time, 7:30. Tickets are $2. Dave Westman, turnovers could be a big factor here tonight. We know both teams are capable of them, knowing that when we covered them before, they each had a large number of turnovers. Now, Harlem last week, they had something like 24 turnovers, if I remember correctly. And it can happen in high school basketball, but it seems like these two teams, a pressing team and a fast-breaking team like both of these teams are capable of doing, it seems like turnovers happen frequently.
I think especially the key, as you mentioned there again, is the press. We'll have to see how effective that press of East High School is going to be. Just from previous games that we've done, I would imagine that we'll find a lot of turnovers towards the beginning of the game, and hopefully later on they'll settle down and play better basketball.
Coming up in just a little bit, we will tell you who the leaders of the NIC-10 Conference are scoring-wise, and we'll touch on that in just a little bit. And we are just moments away from our national anthem. This game was supposed to get underway promptly, but it is taking some time to do so. And people are standing now for the national anthem. We have all kinds of good stuff to talk about during this telecast. And we hope you can stick around and watch the whole thing. The best in Nick 10 basketball on WPTI Sports.
Getting treated to quite a show here by the ROTC.
They're really going at it. They don't start the national anthem like they used to, anyway.
Is that what it is? The national anthem?
Yeah. Here come the color guards with their silver helmets on. From Jefferson High School, the Jayhawks hosting the East E-Rabs in the final game of the regular season. Let's take a look at the scores in the conference here, the top scores. Zane Hathaway is number 4 in the league, averaging 16.9 points per game. And then Levette Marshall for East High School, he's at the 7 spot. He averages about 14.6 points per ball game. Then number 11 is Mark Madden from East High School. 12, Vic Madlock from Jefferson. Number 15, Odell Tidwell from East High School. And then number 18, Dave Thorson from Jefferson High School. So in the top 20 there, we have 6 people that are involved in the top scoring range and could provide for an offensive explosion. You have to look for Dave Thorson in the middle. And for the Jefferson Jayhawks, Mark Madden, real big guy. He's also 6'6", averaging about 12.6 points per ball game. You have to watch for these guys in the middle. And Chad, the big men play has to be the key factor here tonight, I really think, as far as an offensive structure.
Well, I think so. The big man from Jefferson needs to have an outstanding game. Mark Madden from East High was our most valuable player. I believe the last time we did East. He's a super, very steady ball player. Levette Marshall is a good ball player, in fact, an excellent ball player. And when he wants to play, he can play with anybody.
Okay, let's quick hit the starting lineups. Levette Marshall, Odell Tidwell, Mark Madden, Tuck Hobson, Anthony Polk for the E-Rabs. For the Jefferson Jayhawks, Vic Madlock, Keith Mason, Dave Thorson, Zane Hathaway, and Matt Zaire. Here we go. There's the tip. Thorson controls it right off the bat. But the E-Rabs come down with it quickly. There's Marshall. He drives. Pull-up jumper. Falls in and out. The rebound will come down to Marshall. Got it himself for Tidwell. And they're fighting for it. Goes out of bounds, and it will go to East High School. Jefferson's going to take it out. Referee gave this initial signal that it would go to East High School. Let's see if they perform that fast break off the press. Well, they didn't have it working quite right as we diagrammed it. A little bit too much pressure by the E-Rabs. At the top is Zane Hathaway. Good little ball player, 5'10" senior, 17.2 points per game. There's the big guy, Thorson in the middle. They can't make the layup. Marshall with the rebound for the E-Rabs.
In order for Jefferson to stay in this game, Thorson's going to have to hit those layups.
Definitely. He seems prone to miss those early going. And he tries to get on key afterwards. There's a turnover. We talked about that earlier. First one of the ball game. beautiful gymnasium here at Jefferson High School. They've got the rubber floor. Kids say they like it. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, but after they get used to it, why, things are okay. Zaire over to Madlock. Victor looks across court to Hathaway. The bomber away. Good. Zane Hathaway. His first 2 points of the ball game. You can see some Jefferson alumni in the stadium today. We'll tell you about those in just a little bit. Traveling violation. Lorenzo Lipscomb, power forward for the Jayhawks the last couple of years. Graduated last season. He's in the audience today with the old Jefferson J-Hawk team of last year. I don't know if you call them old that way. Full court pressure now by the E-Rabs. Madlock breaks it himself quite easily. And back out top to Zane. Round over to Zaire. Madlock box in the corner. If the outside shooting, Chad, falls apart for the Jayhawks in the early going, they could have some trouble, too.
Absolutely. These guys in that 2-3 zone, they're a quick team.
There's Victor in the corner. Vic Madlock brings it back out top. Round the horn to Zaire. E-Rabs playing some super defense. Then we have a foul call. And that's going to go up against Tuck Hobson. His first personal foul of the night.
Jefferson looks like they're content to move the ball and try to get the open shot. Like I say, East High is a quick team, and they play that 2-3 zone to
almost perfection, yeah. There's Zaire. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Anthony Polk, 5'7" junior. Good defensive players here tonight, all around the board. And that time, Levant Marshall steals it, gets it off to Polk. Gonna go all the way, and something happened way back at home.
Marshall stepped out of bounds.
As you take a look at Victor Madlock, his last year here at Jefferson High School, he's thrilled the crowd many times. Tonight is senior night for the Jayhawks. Boy, the E-Rabs are really putting on the pressure. There's another steal, and here comes Polk. He dishes off to Marshall. He lays the ball up and in. Good feather touch there.
Good assist also.
So far, the Jayhawks are not following through orders of Ed Harriman, the head coach. They're not doing that fast break as he told them to do. Here's Madlock, the sky bomb, away and go.
Maybe Jefferson's saving it for later on in the game when it's more important, too.
Well, they have some other things, David, up their sleeve that they do not want to show here tonight because Freeport has scouts here, and they're thinking about the regional. There's a beautiful shot up by Hobson. His first 2 points of the night. Now here's the full court pressure by the E-Rabs. Madlock gets the pass, and there's Zaire. If we could have seen that a little bit out of your screen in the bottom right-hand corner. Zaire went for the fast break, but it didn't work that time as the E-Rabs come down with a steal. Another turnover. Hobson up against Zaire. Inside to Tidwell. Tidwell says, I got to bring this baby back out top. Inside is Hobson. Fadeaway jumper. Good. 4 points for Hobson tonight. Zaire passes in. Beautiful defense by the E-Rabs. Ike Johnson has to be happy with what's happened so far in the early going. There's another tip away. Madlock alertly comes down with it after Polk knocked it away.
Jefferson's content to hold that ball. Looks like they're just trying to work it in. They're not really penetrating.
They're relying on shots like that to get them through the night, and it won't do it. It's 6-4. E-Rabs lead here at Jefferson High School. Down all the way. Blocked by Thorson. It was Anthony Polk. There's the fast break. There's Zane Hathaway up and in. Beautifully executed. 4 points for Hathaway tonight.
That was a beautiful block by Thorson.
That brought the crowd alive. 6 apiece, all knotted up here with 3:37 left to go in the first quarter. Marshall, all for nothing, over to Madden. He might have walked through the ball. But maybe a 3-second violation. Or am I wrong on both counts?
Looks like it might be a foul, perhaps.
I didn't catch the whistle. What?
They stopped
It was
action
before the first shot.
Right.
Ike Johnson up and off the bench now, talking to the referee. And he's wondering what's happening here. Ed Harriman gets into the act a little bit, along with his assistant coach. Pretty soon we'll have a few more people down there. Chad, you want to go down there for a while, or no?
Perhaps it was a mistaken whistle, too.
It could have been.
Yeah. I thought I heard a
That's
whistle.
exactly what it was, a flagrant whistle. Well, he said the referee did not blow the whistle, but he did blow the whistle. It was just a flagrant blow of the whistle.
I think they're saying there's somebody in the crowd's got a whistle.
Yeah, they said it's going to be a technical foul because someone in the whistle blew it, and apparently it was on the east side that it was blown. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Well,
no, I think they're going to go jump ball, but
I don't know.
Haven't seen one of these situations before.
The coaches seem to be rather amused about it.
all depends on if you're the coach that had the ball at the time.
Well, they're going to jump it up. Thorson and Marshall, head to head. Marshall wins the tip, but the E-Rabs come away with it. Hobson brings it down. There's Levette Marshall. Release pass. Marshall's trying to draw people onto him driving into the lane, Chad, and then Madden will come across the weak side or follow-up and try to get the basket.
Marshall, I think, should have went up for that shot. He had an open shot there.
Tuck Hobson along with Polk at the top with the key. This is a rubber floor, so if you're looking for the seams, you won't find any. Marshall with the bomber, no good. Rebound will come down to Tuck Hobson. He gets it out to Madden. The big guy's trapped, and Zaire comes away with it. Pass over to Hathaway. Beautifully knocked away. Beautiful defense by Tuck Hobson, 5'8" junior.
Good defense. East High got back quick, and that shows their quickness.
E-Rabs won't quit on defense. Zaire round top now to Madlock. Hathaway. His shot no good. Marshall with the rebound. And then we have, it was Heath Mason that stole it away. Heads up play there by the junior. 6 apiece, 2:45 left to go in the first period. Mason's shot up no good, and Thorson comes away with it. I'd like to remind you that if you enjoy these basketball games and would like to have them continue throughout the regional tournament and the championship games, please make your check payable to basketball at WPTI 401 South Main Street, Rockford, Illinois. Keep this tradition alive. Ken Mannery comes into the ball game, and did he replace Levette Marshall? I believe he did, yes. Levette Marshall comes out for a little bit of a breather, and here come the Jayhawks. Hathaway didn't waste any time. 6 points for Zane tonight.
East E-Rabs have 6 turnovers already tonight. We thought that maybe Jefferson would be the ones having problems. There goes the 7th turnover.
There it is. Yeah, close call.
Yeah.
10-6. Jayhawks take the lead for the first time in the ball game.
I'll tell you, if Hathaway gets hot from the outside, East High's in trouble.
Oh, yeah, they really are. Because Hathaway's got a pretty form, and once he gets hot, it's hard to stop him because he's way outside the circle. There's Madlock. His shot away. Won't fall. Madden with the rebound for the E-Rabs. And here comes Polk. Over to Tidwell. He drives out of bounds. It should go to the Jayhawks. Yes, it does. Both teams, I really feel, Dave, are playing some excellent defense here, that's for sure.
I think Ike Johnson, did he call the timeout there? It looks like he needs to talk to his troops a little bit there.
East High seems to be turning that ball over quite frequently.
Well, they already have 8 turnovers. The Jefferson J-Hawks have 3.
Okay, other games tonight. The Auburn Knights go to Belvedere to play the Bucks as you see Ike Johnson in the huddle with his boys. West at Boylan. Guilford at Harlem in the big game. Hononegah and Freeport. Again, if Freeport loses to Hononegah and East were to win here, well, we'd have a tie for the Nick 10 Conference Championship between the E-Rabs and the Freeport Pretzels. It was close last year, too, if I recall correctly. 10-6. Jayhawks lead it here at home against the E-Rabs.
Brian, I believe this is one of the better crowds I've seen at the games we've telecast this year.
Really is. Pretty gymnasium, yeah.
Of course, this is a good rivalry, I imagine, Jefferson East.
It is, and also being one of the last home game for the Jefferson Jayhawks, I think they've turned out more than they might usually turn out.
Especially the Jayhawk crowd. Things seem to be filled to capacity over there across the way, and they are last in the conference with a 5-12 record. And to be honest with you, I really thought, David, that they would get a little bit further than that. But things didn't go right for them. Heavy defensive play there, and there we have Mannery with the
Carry the ball.
Mannery tight defense, and then Hathaway carry the ball. Another turnover. Here come the E-Rabs now. Out to the top is Polk. And over to Mannery. Inside to Madden, the big guy posts up the shot. No arch, won't fall. Polk with the rebound. He says, let's bring it back out top. Then he sees an open lane. His shot fired away good.
Nice move.
First 2 points for Polk tonight. There's the defensive struggle. There's got a foul, and that's going to be on Polk. A little bit too aggressive that time.
That's his first. Really not too many fouls in this game. Only have 3 fouls total for each team, for both teams.
And the first quarter is almost history. There's a long pass to Madlock. There's the release play. Madlock up and go. Victor Madlock. Boy, it works. When it works good, doesn't it? 4 points for Madlock tonight.
Ike Johnson looked a little bit upset on that. I don't think we'll see that too many times.
Mannery, the fadeaway sky archer, won't fall, and he's fouled. I believe it was Mason.
Well, it looked like he was going for the three-pointer there.
Well, he'd have to go all the way to the pros or the college to do that. That would be a long shot. Closest game here in college-wise, I think, is where would that be tonight? Maybe Rock Valley's playing a game. No, they're done. At the line is Mannery. His shot, no good. 12-8. Jayhawks lead the E-Rabs here tonight. 44 seconds left to go. Second shot by Mannery won't fall. The big guy is in there for the rebound, but he can't handle it. Then we have Hobson with a long-range shot. And then Zane Hathaway comes down with a rebound. Fancy dribbling there. Over to Thorson.
I think Jefferson's going to hold for the one.
At least the fast break worked once for the Jayhawks. Who knows? That might be the key to the ball game. That one basket there, if it comes down to it. And boy, oh boy, we've had some close ones here at WPTI Sports these past few Friday nights. 13 seconds left to go, and winding down, 9. And then Zane Hathaway passes to Thorson. Beautiful pass, then blocked by Tidwell, and they're going to call it goaltending. That was questionable.
I don't know about that call, but it was a beautiful play by Hathaway.
Hathaway's just a super ball player, and I'll tell you one thing. He will be missed here at Jefferson High School. Hobson, shot away. No good, air ball. At the buzzer, it was thrown down out of just sheer determination, trying for something. Victor Madlock. The score right now, it's 14-8. We're going to go into the second period when we come back to WPTI Sports where the action is.
Hello, I'm Rick Gallagher, and I'd like you to know that WPTI TV, Rockford's newest and America's very first cable casting station, is impressive to me. Come on, Greater Rockford, join me with your support of the new and exciting local alternative to television viewing for our community. WPTI TV Cable 10 provides programs to keep us in touch with our fine community. Pledge your financial support today. WPTI TV is small enough to know you, large enough to serve you.
Rockford is moving into a whole new frontier of sights and sounds. Come join an exciting adventure in television participation. Recognized as the first in the country to develop such a cable casting station, WPTI Channel 10 is designed just for you. Locally produced entertainment, new educational directions, and information on and about your community. For a way you can help, call WPTI Cable 10. We're small enough to know you, large enough to serve you.
Quick stats, Brian. Jefferson J-Hawks shooting very well in the first quarter. 7 for 12 from the field. That's 58%. East E-Rabs 4 for 11 for 36%. Top scorers in the first quarter were Zane Hathaway for Jefferson. He had 6 points. Thorson and Matlock from Jefferson each had 4. Leading scorer for the East E-Rabs is Tuck Hobson with 4 points. Turnover situation for the East E-Rabs. They turned the ball over 8 times. Jefferson only turned it over 4 times. However, East E-Rabs hold the rebounding edge. They out-rebounded Jefferson 9-5.
Fine job. Dave Westman, our statistician. Chad, do you think we'll see any more of the fast break by the Jayhawks off the diagram that we showed earlier?
Well, I think they're going to go with that play all night long as East High keeps putting the pressure on them.
They should re-jump that ball, as they will do.
I think, as Dave mentioned earlier, they can't get away with it all night, but every once in a while they'll get away with it.
The E-Rabs seem to have won every tap here tonight. Kelly Starks is into the game for the E-Rabs, but Zane Hathaway steals a beautiful bounce pass to Mason. His shot, no good.
Good defense.
Well, you have Todd Gentry, who comes in for East High School.
Starks, I believe, is in, isn't he?
Yeah, Starks is in, and so is Gentry. Then we also have a substitution for the Jayhawks. Roscoe Woods comes in. Get the lineup set for you. Zane Hathaway at the top. Inside to Woods. He drives. Nowhere to go. Comes back out top over to Mason. Mason bounce pass to Madlock. Beautiful defense. Woods, turnaround jumper block. Gets it right back. Then over to Mason. Jayhawks really patient. They seem to be a little bit frantic trying to get it in there with some new blood.
I think Jefferson ought to just take their time, work the ball. Doing a good job, but as you said, they looked like they were hurrying it up a little bit.
14-8, Jayhawks lead of the contest. Here comes Kelly Starks for the E-Rabs. Over to Gentry. The shot away, no good, and foul is on Mason.
That's his third foul tonight. He has all three of the fouls for the Jefferson J-Hawks.
At the free throw line will be Gentry.
I think you'll see Mason coming out pretty soon.
Gentry averaging 4 points per ball game, a 6'1" senior. Well, he won't go to the line, I guess. Not in the bonus situation. Marshall passes into Gentry. Inside to Tidwell. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound comes down to Gentry. His shot away, won't fall. Can't buy a basket right now. Here comes Zane Hathaway after the outlet pass from Madlock. Hathaway, top of the key, looking around. Leaves Mason. You're on offense. What do? Inside pass to Thorson. Not a bad play selection, but he just can't buy the basket under there. There's a make. 6 points for Thorson tonight. Here comes Kelly Starks. Tidwell. Gentry. Back to Gentry. Jayhawks playing good, solid defense. Madden, the big guy, turnaround jumper, good.
He's been kind of silent tonight. That's only his second shot.
And his first 2 points. 16-10. Jayhawks lead it. Heavy defensive pressure there by Gentry. A lot of leaning that time. A lot of leaning. Hathaway lob into Thorson. It was beautiful. Just like you draw it up.
That was a beautiful assist by Hathaway.
8 points for the big guy. Thorson. There's Tidwell or Marshall. His shot won't fall. Gentry alertly picks it up. And then the Jayhawks come away with it. Over to Hathaway. Lazy layup up and he busts the foul.
They're going to count that?
Yeah, they're going to count the basket. Hathaway, 8 points tonight. He will go to the free throw line.
Hathaway played that just perfectly.
Looked like he almost waited for the foul.
Yeah, he shot a hesitation shot, which a good ball player will do. And he looks like a good ball player.
There's Hathaway. His shot, no good. Madden with the rebound. Kelly Starks. Didn't know what he wanted to do with it there for a while. Inside to Madden, the jumper, no good off the glass. Rebound will come down to Gentry, and we have a foul call. Woods, I believe, yeah, they're going to call it on Woods. For Jefferson, his first personal foul. He just checked in about a minute ago. Not in the bonus situation yet, though. 20-10. Jayhawks lead. Shot up, beautiful by Kelly Starks. First 2 points for Starks tonight. Now here's the full court pressure by the E-Rabs. You can see it. You can see how tough it would be to break. There's the lob pass, almost taken away by Madden. Here comes Zane. Bounce pass to Madlock. Thought about launching it, didn't do it. Tony Sanders has come in for the Jayhawks. Inside pass to Thorson. Hathaway, his shot from the top of the rim won't fall. Here comes Kelly Starks on the fast break. It's 3-on-2, bounce to Marshall. His shot up and good, plus the foul. The big guy, Thorson, reached a hand in there. Foul Thorson to make that Marshall when he went up.
That was a good assist by Starks there. He pulled up just when you're supposed to, released the ball, and man got the basket and the foul.
That was on Sanders, wasn't it? I believe so.
Okay, so the first 2 points, Chong will make that 4 points so far, chalked up for Lavette Marshall. It's 20-14, 6-point lead for the Jefferson J-Hawks here right at here at Jefferson High School on senior night. As you can see in the huddle of the E-Rabs, Ike Johnson talking things over. Freeport leads in the conference with a 13-4 record. They are a blistering 16-8 overall. Done a super job this year. And East High School, they are 12-5 and 12-10 overall in second place.
This is the third time we've seen the E-Rabs this year, and if my recollection is right, all 3 times they started out rather slow. The first game they never did catch on against Boylan. Then the game against Hononegah, they were tied at halftime and finally went in the third quarter and started putting on some points. So maybe they're just a slow starting ball team.
Not doing too bad tonight. Maybe that could change the tide, but see what happens. Marshall at the line. Fires it away, it won't fall. With the rebound, it's Tony Sanders. Then Gentry steals it away. And it's going to be Gentry jumping it up with Thorson. Boy, that's a mismatch. 6'1" Gentry. Thorson is big, lanky, 6'8". 2014, Jayhawks lead it here. And Thorson easily controls it. Sanders takes it down. And here comes Hathaway. 4:27 and counting down till halftime. We'll have all the statistics for you. Dave Westman doing once again an incredible job, along with Chad Kaufman. Daryl Gents, our in the truck statistician, keeping us abreast of that action. And the fine crew here for WPTI do an amazing job week after week. Although the insight to the game of basketball, it's hard to follow the action, they do it incredibly well. Thorson's shot up, no good. And there's a foul.
Thorson's doing a nice job on those boards. He looks better tonight than the last time I saw him.
I didn't catch who the foul was on, but Thorson will go to the line. 6'8", 205 pounds, a senior. 11.1 points per ball game. Thorson shot away. No good, off the back of the rim.
That foul, I believe, was on Marshall.
If that's the case, that's his first personal foul. Second shot by Thorson away, won't fall. Rebound, Gentry. Madden had it in first, and then Gentry came away with it. Comes Kelly Starks now. Going to face the Jayhawk defense, Lavette Marshall. He drives, shot away, no good. Thorson with the rebound, outlet pass to Sanders, then over to Zane Hathaway, lob to Madlock. Beautiful play, but it's blocked beautifully by Tidwell. And Gentry comes away with it. And then the Jayhawks come right back, and he is fouled. Madden got him on the wrist, hard and heavy. First personal foul on Madden tonight. My goodness. You talk about defense, you have an ample supply of it tonight, folks. Madlock, 12.6 points per game. Madlock shot away. Good.
A lot of hustle under those boards, a lot of hands in there.
Madlock, 5 points tonight. Going to try to make it 6. Can't find the range. And the rebound will come down to Madden. And the E-Rabs. My goodness. All over the back of him was Roscoe Woods. 21-14. Jefferson leads. And then Victor Madlock steals the ball. The layup up and in.
Very inspired basketball by the Jayhawks.
9-point lead for the Jayhawks. Tidwell, his shot away, won't fall. Coming down with the rebound, Zane Hathaway. It's a 3-on-1 fast break. Lob over to Woods. His shot up. He can't make the layup. And then Wood comes right back with a foul. I just think he got a little too excited there, Chad. And just sort of threw up a lead brick. And that doesn't bounce too good off the glass.
Well, both teams are running up and down the floor at a frantic pace here. I think Jefferson would be smart to just slow that ball down a little bit.
Well, they did have a 3-on-1 fast break, which would tend to lead someone to go for the fast break, but with a lead with above 9 points, you might want to slow things down. There's Marshall. Good.
That's the first free throw made by an East E-Rabs tonight. Both teams shooting rather poorly from the line.
23-15. Jayhawks lead it. Marshall, second shot. Let's see what happens. Doesn't fall. Sanders with a rebound. Gentry fights for it, but no go. Here comes Sanders now. And now, like you said, Chad, I think the Jayhawks are going to slow it down. I can't believe they're going to go for the last shot, though. Just wait for the best shot, don't you think?
Right. The last few minutes, they've been moving the ball around fairly slow, looking for the open man. They'll look for the man underneath coming out, possibly Thorson.
Wood, you can see Thorson leaning, but instead Woods took the shot. I'm sure that wasn't the shot that was planned. Hathaway now at the top, settling things down. Been a good quarterback all year for the Jayhawks. There's Sanders over to Woods. Madlock sort of trapped in the corner by the big guy, Levette Marshall. Madlock, long range, beautiful.
9 points.
You have to have confidence in that type of a shot to take it, and he does. Madden drives inside, and what happened? Foul?
We had a foul on Thorson. No?
Ray Madlock, Victor's little brother, checks into the game. Madlock, Ray Madlock, that is, 6 foot. He's a junior, averaging 4.1 points per ball game. Madden at the line, averaging 12. 25-15. Jayhawks lead it. Coming down with the rebound, Levette Marshall. Then over to Gentry. Back to Marshall. He'll take it. No, he feeds inside to Gentry. He flips it around in. And those are the first 2 points for Gentry tonight. Madlock. Then to Hathaway. Hathaway racing against 2 men. And he beats the clock with a 10-second count rather easily. Now they're going to spread it out. 25-17. Minute 15 left to go till halftime. Jayhawks lead it here at home. Madlock trapped in the corner by Marshall. Back out to Sanders. Around the horn to Hathaway. Sanders, he pumps it. No good. Air ball coming down with a rebound. Little Ray Madlock. And he can't find the range. And here come the E-Rabs with 55 seconds left to go. Marshall, he leans inside. They're not going to call the charge.
Yes, they're going to call the basket, though.
They're going to call the basket, but they're not going to call the charge. Instead, they're going to tag it on Thorson. 2 fouls tonight for Thorson. Marshall will get the basket. That's 7 points for him tonight. Levette Marshall. He averages 12.8 points per ball game. Shot away. Good. 8 points for Marshall tonight. Full court pressure now by the E-Rabs. Jayhawks break it handedly. Suddenly it's 25-20, only a 5-point lead for the Jayhawks. And then we have the E-Rabs coming away with a steal. And there's a foul. And it's going to go on Madlock. Victor Madlock.
That's his first foul.
You know, instead of Jefferson just playing conservative basketball here, they had a 10-point lead. It's down to 5. They're going to give East High a chance to get within 3. They took a couple of poor shots, and yes, I know it was a 3-0-1 fast break, Brian, but it was a bad shot the kid took.
He really was. I knew it was only a matter of time before there was reconciliation there. There's a shot by Kelly Starks. Up and in. He's got 3 points tonight. And sometimes you wonder about the slow-down strategy instead of staying with what got you there in the first place. You see it so often that they change strategy. Look at Illinois and Purdue the other day.
Well, with the strategy, Jefferson was all right, except they took a couple of bad shots.
Kelly Starks goes in for the shot. He's fouled from behind by Ray Madlock. Yeah, sometimes you wonder.
East High is right back in this game now.
25-22. Of course, you almost have to go into something different. You don't want to. Well, I don't know. Why don't they stay with their same strategy right down to the end? Too much of a gamble, you think?
Well, I don't know. You probably hit it right on the head when you mentioned that Illinois-Purdue game the other night.
Starks has 6 points tonight. He only averages 3 points per ball game. 5 points for Starks tonight. Going to try for 6 here, and he does. 25-24. Jayhawks lead it by only 1 here tonight. They had a 10-point lead, 11-point lead early on. Victor Madlock now racing against the clock with 22 seconds. Forcing out top the big man. Scrambling for the pass to receive it, and does. Clock winding down. 14 as you see it on your screen. Victor Madlock, fadeaway jumper. Poor shot selection. Almost had to do it. Then the E-Rabs are trapped. And a terrible foul. Sanders came away and said, boy, I've got to grab this ball. And did so, but fouled in the process. Backcourt foul to the line. They will go.
2 fouls on Sanders.
To the free throw line, Kelly Starks. He's been there 3 times in a row now in the last minute.
Oh, he's made all 4 of his free throws tonight.
Here's Kelly Starks. Shot away. Good. Tie ball game. 25-25. Kelly backs off a little bit, thinks about it with 4 seconds left to go. What a lift it would be for the E-Rabs. To gain the lead before halftime. No, it won't fall. Let Marshall there. The shot away. Good!
10 points for Marshall.
10 points for Marshall.
Just at the buzzer.
27-25. The E-Rabs take the lead at the buzzer. On WPTI Sports. Holy cow, what a basketball game we have here tonight. 27-25. E-Rabs lead at WPTI Sports, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick, and you're watching WPTI TV, Rockford, Illinois, one of my favorite stations. It's on Cablevision Channel 10, and it's small enough to be your friend and big enough to be all of our friends. Woo!
Hi, this is Brian Wright, the host of Make a Joyful Noise, aired every Sunday night at 7:30 and Wednesday nights at 9:30. Each week we take a look at the great Rockford area musical talent. We explore the motives behind the various individuals, personal insights on some of the pressures of performing in front of large audiences. It's a program the entire family will enjoy. Great things are ahead on Make a Joyful Noise on WPTI, and we want you to become a part of the excitement. Remember now, Sunday nights at 7:30, Wednesday nights at 9:30. Make a Joyful Noise is brought to you by Quality Metal Finishing of Byron. Welcome back, everybody. Brian Wright along with Chad Kaufman and Dave Westwood. WPTI Nick 10 Game of the Week. A good one we have going here tonight for you. Another barn burner in the city, 27-25. The E-Rabs take the lead in just the final few seconds of the final second, actually, of the first half. And Dave Westman, a game of a lot of turnovers, not a lot of turnovers, but basically a lot of things happening. What happened statistically for us?
Well, really a good game played by both teams so far, both from a shooting standpoint and from the turnovers. The East E-Rabs were 10 for 23 from the field. That's 43%, which really isn't too bad for high school basketball. Jefferson likewise shot 43% from the field, as you can see up there on your screen. They were 12 for 28. the free throw department, it was East coming on with 7 for 13, 54%. Jefferson J-Hawks only shot 5 times. They made 1 for 20%. Team fouls. Jefferson has a little bit of foul trouble right now, especially the main person for them who has foul trouble right now is Heath Mason. He has 3 fouls. East E-Rabs only have 5 fouls split among 5 players. Rebounds are dominated by the E-Rabs, as you can see. Turnovers also, though, a little bit of a factor. We had thought earlier that Jefferson might be the ones having the problems with the press. As it turns out, it's the E-Rabs instead who have the most turnovers, 11-6. Top scorers in the first half. Let's first look at the East E-Rabs. Their top scorer was Levette Marshall. He had 10 points. He was 4 for 8 from the field. He was followed by Kelly Starks and Tuck Hobson with 4. Todd Gentry with 2. Anthony Polk also with 2, and Madden with 2. For Jefferson J-Hawks, their leading scorers, they had really 2 that were tied. Zane Hathaway and Dave Thorson each had 8 points. Zane Hathaway was 4 for 6 from the field. Dave Thorson was 4 for 7. Vic Matlock came in with 5 points, and that's really all the scoring that the Jefferson J-Hawks have on this first half.
Very impressive first half defensively. And Chad, we saw a couple of times where the Jayhawks were able to break that press that the E-Rabs were putting on, and I think at that particular time, that's where they had their biggest lead, when they were able to score quickly on the fast break, but then later on, they decided to slow it down a little bit, and that lead dwindled away. I know we talked about it before halftime about changing your game strategy, and we saw a prime example of it, and they lost their lead.
Well, I don't think the strategy of slowing down the ball was that bad of a strategy. I think what happened was Jefferson started taking some high percentage shots, and I was surprised to see the percentages at 43 apiece as far as shooting percentages, because Jefferson must have been much higher than that up until the last 3 or 4 minutes of that second quarter.
As a matter of fact, they were in the very first quarter. After the end of one quarter, Jefferson from the field was shooting 58%. So in other words, in the second quarter, they really took a tumble from the shooting percentage standpoint.
Well,
go ahead.
I think they were shooting some, like I said before, I think they were shooting some 4 percentage shots in the last 2 or 3 minutes of that first half. And that gave East High the opportunity to come back, and East High is a good enough team that they will come back.
One correction I'd like to make in those statistics, I had mentioned that Vic Madlock for Jefferson had 5 points. Instead, he had 9 points, so he's the leading scorer for the Jefferson J-Hawks, with Hathaway and Thorson each having 8.
Okay, we'd like to remind you that if you are enjoying this basketball game and would like to see more of them on TV, WPTI Cable 10, we encourage you to write us, okay? We encourage you not to just write us, but send us your contribution to basketball. Make your check payable to basketball. WPTI TV, 401 South Main Street, Rockford, Illinois. Your gifts are tax deductible, and we need your gifts to carry on. That's WPTI Sports, care of basketball, 401 South Main Street, Rockford, Illinois. And your check is tax deductible. And a lot of things happening here tonight in the second half. We're looking forward to it. You guys elaborated just a few moments ago that they were shooting tremendously in the first, 58%. The Jayhawks were, what was it in the first?
The first quarter, after the end of the first quarter.
After the end of the first quarter. And I think what happened is that that was largely due, I believe, to Madlock being somewhat hot and Zane Hathaway being somewhat hot, then suddenly getting cold going into the second period. So, like you said, Chad, these guys, if they get hot, they're going to be tough to stop. There's no question about it.
Well, I think East High, as I said before, has the capabilities of coming back. We've seen them do it before against Hononegah, and they've done it against other teams this year. But you're right, Hathaway cooled off in that second period, so did Madlock, and although Hathaway really didn't shoot that much that second period.
Just to elaborate a little bit on that second quarter shooting by Jefferson, in the second quarter they shot 5 for 16 for 31%, so that was the figures.
There's the difference.
That is the difference. Well, East High School comes into this game with a 12-5 conference record. Jayhawks 5-12, just the opposite. But they're playing neck and neck here tonight. Then that goes to show you what Chad elaborated on earlier in the contest, is that any team can play with any team in the Nick 10. We've got Marshall, Tidwell, Kelly Starks, and then we also have, who else is in there for E-Rabs a new face. And then for the Jayhawks, we have Madlock Hathaway, who gets the pass knocked away. Thorson, Mason. And for East High School, Steve Irvin. He's the new face in there, number 25 for the E-Rabs. Here we go now. Start of this third period. 7:49. Just got started. Thorson, inside pass. Can't make it. Can't buy a basket under there. He's extremely cold under there, Chad. I don't know if he's not concentrating or what.
Well, he's trying to get over a couple of pretty big men for East High. They're not as tall as he is, but they can jump.
Actually, for the whole game, he's 4 for 8 from the field, 50%. It's just the last 3 or 4 times he's had some problems.
Here comes Kelly Starks over to Marshall. Marshall, he'll drive over to Gentry. Pass away. Shot is 2. No good. Rebound will come down to Tidwell. His shot off the glass is good. Odell Tidwell.
Good hustle.
That's his first 2 points.
29-25. The E-Rabs increase their lead. Jayhawks here looking for a score at least in this third period.
Oh, he traveled off.
Yeah, sure did.
Very obvious.
Kelly Starks will run to the referee and say, here we go. Gets it over to Gentry. Gentry back to Starks now, bringing it across the timeline. 29-25. E-Rabs lead it here. There's Marshall. His jumper no good. Mason, lob pass to Hathaway. He'll pull up. His shot off the glass, good. Everybody falls down. So for Hathaway tonight, 10 points. 29-27. Maybe it was just a freak the last time that we're on the air. We had Hononegah, the home team, actually winning. There's Marshall. Shot up good. Levant Marshall.
Good move.
Well, points for Levant tonight.
That kid has a lot of fine moves. I'm really astounded that he hasn't got a better scoring average.
Inside is Mason off the glass. Rebound coming down to Marshall. Lob over to Gentry. Gentry slows up over to Marshall. He takes right off like a jet. Shot up, no good. Rebound will come down to Woods. No, Gentry steals it away. He goes up for the shot, and the tip in by Levant Marshall. 14 points for Marshall tonight. 33-27.
Boy, at this pace, there's no way I can keep accurate stats.
And I think the Jayhawks going to call a timeout. And they rightly should, because things are sort of falling apart for them here. The E-Rabs really taking charge here. They went in at halftime, 1 point up, and now it's 33-27. E-Rabs lead it here at Jefferson High School. The last home game for the seniors tonight. And you have to think, Chad, that many of them will find college careers somewhere. I don't know if in the Big Ten or anything like that, but they'll have to find a college somewhere that they will be able to perform very well in.
Well, I don't see anybody on the floor well, especially for Jefferson, it could be Big Ten material, but there's plenty of fine, good, small colleges that these kids could play in.
If Thorson could develop and gain a little weight and mature a little bit as far as ability on the outside shooting range, why, he might be able to make Big Ten status.
Right. What is Thorson? Is he a junior or?
Thorson's senior.
Senior. Okay.
Yeah. And he performed real well last year too. Saw him many times. And
I think it looks like he's almost winning the battle of the big men down there between Madden and himself. I really haven't heard much from Madden tonight.
He has been slow. Maybe that's why Ike Johnson didn't put him in the second half.
It looks like they're almost double teaming Thorson in there.
Yeah. Lob pass into Woods. His reverse layup, no good. Here comes Kelly Starks. Across the timeline. Bounce pass, beautiful, over to Gentry. The shot away, and good. Boy, oh boy. 4 points for Gentry tonight, 35-27. Have the Jayhawks scored in the second half yet?
I don't believe they have.
Yeah, they've scored one basket.
Just one time.
One basket. Third quarters can kill you if you have a bad one.
Remember, East had an excellent third quarter against Hononegah 2 weeks ago.
That's right. Mason, his off-balance shot doesn't fall. Hard to understand that strategy, but the way it goes sometimes. Gentry gets the bounce pass over to Odell Tidwell. His shot no good. Charging in for the rebound is Thorson. Marshall almost took it away even then. Hathaway now. Looking at the big D. Madlock, the bomber. Long range, no good. Marshall with the rebound. Kelly Starks quickly down the court. Bounce pass over to Gentry. Gentry backs out of it, out to Starks. Starks finds himself almost all alone. The ball tipped away. Who gets it? Odell Tidwell stepped on the line, and it will go to the Jayhawks.
That's the first turnover for the E-Rabs this half.
35-27. E-Rabs lead it here tonight. Explosive third period. Looking for some points, and they need him fairly quick. Zane Hathaway, pusher, shot good.
That was a three-pointer.
Yeah, it sure was. 12 points for Hathaway tonight. Here's the full court pressure by the Jayhawks. Let's see if it pays off for him. Kelly Starks tips it away. Close to a traveling violation, but they don't call it. Bounce pass over to Tidwell. Back out to Starks. Jayhawks know they have to get something going and going quick. They let Kelly Starks go in. Thorson with a rebound, or the foul. That's 3 fouls on Thorson tonight. 35-29.
Looks like East High goes into these little lapses where they try to play individual basketball. Levette Marshall was was really coming on in that third quarter, and I thought they'd go to him more. And the last couple minutes he hasn't touched the ball.
Kelly Starks, 5'6", at the free throw line. Little guy, quick though. There's Kelly, a good shot of him there. The shot away, no good.
The rebound battle has really been won by the E-Rabs this quarter. In this quarter, they've out-rebounded Jefferson 9-2.
Starks puts it home. Eight points for Starks. Got a foul underneath, I think.
I think it's on Irving.
That is number 25, Steve Irvin, 6'2" junior. 4 points the Jayhawks have scored here in the second half. E-Rabs have just put up a bundle on the board. There's Thorson. He misses that time, but no wonder. Gentry got him with a foul.
That's his first. East E-Rabs have 7 fouls in the game, and they're on 7 different players, so I don't think they're going to have any foul trouble as far as they're concerned.
Thorson jumps to the free throw line, averages 8 points per ball game. He's got up, no good.
He's 0 for 3 from the free throw line.
And I think he actually averages 11.1 points per ball game. Check that out in just a few minutes. Second shot by Thorson, no good. Hathaway now. Inside of Thorson, the big guy. Fires it up, no good. Here comes Starks quickly down at the other end. There's that individual basketball I think you're talking about, Chad, over and back call. Had several opportunities to pass it off.
Yeah, they bring that ball across the line, stop, pass it off, set up your play, but they're not doing it right now. And I think Ike Johnson's standing over there. He's very upset with his boys.
See him right there. He is a little upset. The look on his face. Long shot by Madlock. Boy, they needed that one. 36-31. 5-point lead for the E-Rabs. Here comes Levette Marshall. His pumper no good. They're going to fight for it. Jump ball. Levette Marshall and Dave Thorson.
Good defensive play by Hathaway. Came up behind Marshall.
Madden comes into the ball game and he replaces Steve Irvin. Going to put the big guy back in there. 36-31, third period. And the E-Rabs come away with it. Every time the Jayhawks seem like they win the tip, but at least in jumping ability, but then the E-Rabs come up with it. Here goes Levette Marshall over to Madden. He's a little bit tight yet, coming off the bench. But he'll put it up anyway. The shot rolls around the rim. Won't fall. Gentry with the rebound. Shot blocked by Woods. And here comes Hathaway. He'll pull it up. He'll pump it. Shot away. Good. Zane Hathaway. 14 points tonight. 36-33. Full court pressure now by the Jayhawks. What do you think has happened here, Chad?
Well, Gentry again was trying to play individualized basketball. She was driving in there, got it blocked. We've seen that happen 3 or 4 times now. Jefferson's right back in this game.
Madden, the big guy, turn around. That time he got it. Only 4 points for Madden tonight. He was our most valuable one game, wasn't he?
Yes, he sure was.
Right.
2 weeks ago.
Had something like 22 points, something like that.
Played a super game.
Sure did. Lob over to Hathaway. Hathaway drives inside. His shot away. Good! Zane Hathaway has 6 straight points now for the Jefferson J-Hawks. He's got 16 points on the night. 38-35. 3-point lead for the E-Rabs. But they see that in trouble right now. Bounce pass inside of Tidwell. Shovel from the side. Puts it in. Boy, he shot that one from the ear.
There's the old wing and a prayer. He actually had that ball blocked. He still got it away.
Yes, he did. 4 points for Tidwell. Mason. Gentry. He'll throw it up there. And this one just won't fall. And we have a foul from behind. Madden tried to do a little push and shoving. And make that Thorson.
Thorson, right.
So for Thorson tonight, is that his 4th personal
foul? 4 fouls. At least I have him for 4.
I have him for 4 too. They say 2 heads are better than 1, and Chad didn't say anything.
I had him for 3, but well, could be. I don't keep good at statistics as Dave does. So.
40-35, another whistle. And
that's going to be on Woods. Roscoe Woods. That's his 3rd.
The board shows Thorson with 3 too.
Right, I think you're right there. Guess everybody makes mistakes.
Just like I said, 2 heads are not better than 1. And here comes Marshall. 28 seconds left to go. The shot is blocked by Woods, and Mason just can't handle it. The pressure was overwhelming. Starks pulls it out. Bounce over to Gentry. Then to Levette Marshall, who is not in a hurry. This time it looks like he is. Shovel pass to Madden, and Madden says, here it is. He put it up and in. Holy cow. 5-4, the clock winding down, and Zane Hathaway fires. It doesn't fall, and Mason comes down with a rebound, but a day late and $1 short. It's 42-35. Wow. The E-Rabs lead it against the Jayhawks. And we'll be right back after this. WPTI Sports.
I'm Ruth, and I'm Don, and we're excited about Greater Rockford's newest and America's first public cable-casting television station. We believe WPTI TV Cable 10 will keep the people of Greater Rockford in touch with their fine community. Join WPTI TV Cable 10 each evening for locally produced programs to interest you. We're sure you'll be turned on by what WPTI TV has in store for you. Pledge your financial support today. WPTI TV is small enough to know you, large enough to serve you.
Want to look good and feel better? Then stop listening to food myths and give up reading fad diet books. All you need is the thinnest book in the world, only 3 pages. Page 1, eat a variety of balanced foods from the 4 food groups. Page 2, ask your doctor what you should weigh. That may mean fewer calories, smaller meals, and more activity. Page 3, avoid too much alcohol, fat, or sugar in what you eat. The world's thinnest book, the best way to look good and feel better.
Welcome back, everybody. Flying right along with Chad Kaufman and Dave Westman. The score here is 42-35. The E-Rabs lead it, and the final chapter goes up on the board, 4th period.
One thing we might mention about the outstanding play of Zane Hathaway so far for Jefferson. In the game so far, he's shot 12 times. He's made 8 of them. That's pretty good percentage, 67% from the field.
And Maybe we have to start thinking about most valuable quickly, guys. See what happens. They're going to have to jump it up again. That's the second time that's happened now. Tommy Meeks inside the Nick Can magazine is also here. Part of the Most Valuable Player Award. He's a big part of that. Here's Victor Madlock, drives inside. They're going to say he carried the ball, but it's hard to say.
Tough call by the official. Could have went either way.
Turnover. How many is that, Dave?
Only 3 for the Jefferson this half. Both teams playing very well.
Gentry finds himself
Beautiful.
all alone over to Tidwell, up and in. Odell Tidwell, 6 points tonight.
There's one of the few examples of unselfish play we've seen from the E-Rabs.
Right.
Victor Madlock tries to drive again inside to Thorson. Didn't come down with it. He tried to shoot it in the air, and he missed again. Shooting very poorly here tonight. Here comes Starks over to Marshall. What's Lamette going to do with it? Inside to Tidwell. He wants to take charge and does. 8 points for Tidwell tonight. Suddenly, 11-point lead for the E-Rabs. 46-35. 7:03 left to go in the contest. There's Madlock. His shot no good. And Woods comes up with the rebound, but the little Gentry is in there fighting for it along with Kelly Starks. Ed Heerman, not too happy about it.
Jefferson is taking some very poor shots right now. Those aren't the type of shots when you're 11 points down. They're not going to get you back in the game, that's for sure.
Those are more like panic shots that you take with about a minute left in the game.
Tip is controlled. Thorson can't hang on to it. Just doesn't seem like he's mentally into the game tonight. That can happen. Gentry now. Heavy pressure by Mason. Gentry breaks free. On top to Starks. Then Gentry gets it back inside to Madden. Madden will do the turnaround. His shot good. Woo! 8 points for Madden tonight. Suddenly, the E-Rabs explode again. They go in spurts.
I think Jefferson's going to have to score here, or it could be all over.
Madlock in the corner. Zane, top of the key. 48-35. Hathaway can't find the range. The basket doesn't fall. Kelly Starks brings it up court now. There's Ike Johnson. He wants to smile but won't do it because he knows that there's 6 minutes left to go. Madden's shot is blocked by Thorson. That could be the turning point there for the Jayhawks if they want to get back in it. Zane Hathaway.
He's got a nice touch.
18 points for Zane Hathaway. 48-37. And a foul from behind. And it's going to go against Mason.
That'll be his 4th.
Hathaway averages about 18 a game, doesn't he?
Yeah, let's take a look here. 17.2. Mason, I have 4 fouls.
He does have 4.
And we have a timeout on the floor with the score 48-37. 5:51 to go. Jayhawks still not out of it by any means.
Now, there's plenty of time left in this game. You're going to have to take better shot selection and just play good defense.
48-37. Other games going on right now, the Nick 10. Auburn is at Belvedere. West at Boylan. Guilford at Harlem, and Hononegah at Freeport. Once again, we'd like to mention that if Hononegah were to beat Freeport tonight, and let's say that East wins here tonight, that means East and Freeport will tie for the conference championship in the Nick 10 this season. They ought to have a championship game. One more at the end there if the regionals weren't going to start so soon to see what would happen.
Really, East beat Freeport both times this season. I'm wondering if they would be considered champions.
I don't know. That possibly could happen. I thought East won one of those games.
They won both of them. That's what I said.
Okay.
They won both the games against
Freeport.
Freeport.
Okay.
Well, on the same token, Freeport could say, well, we beat somebody twice at East.
Right, that's true.
So
just awful hard to cut a trophy in half.
It sure is. Never looked at it that way. Zane Hathaway, 18 points tonight. He needs to can a few more here. Get him back in this thing. 48-37. There's Marshall into the big man Madden. His jumper, no good. And what happens? Out of bounds. It will go to East High School. Victor Madlock was racing across there trying to tap it back in. But in doing so, he knocked it out. Good shot of Levette Marshall there, number 24. And Wood steals the ball for the Jayhawks over to Zane Hathaway.
Big play right here.
Hathaway's going to have to take charge here. And he put it up at the last second. Oh, my goodness. 20 points for Zane Hathaway. 48-29. Hathaway, he realizes this is his last game as the Jefferson High, or make that at home anyway. Levette Marshall, he'll pump it. Shot away, gone. Levette Marshall. 16 points for Levette tonight. 50-39. Victor Madlock, cross court to Zane. He'll pump it. And his shot is up, no good. Rebound comes down to, well, they're going to travel with it. Well, Gentry and Tidwell didn't know who they were fighting with. They didn't know whether it was each other. That's for sure. Victor has a new player into the ball game now, and check that out to see who he is. Madlock, his shot away, no good.
Another rebound by Marshall. Marshall's been very tough on the boards tonight.
E-Rabs winning the rebounding war 20-7 in the second half.
Gentry shot up and no good. Rebound comes down to Marshall. And Victor Madlock comes away with it. Here they come now, racing with it. And we've got a whistle. Ike Johnson going to talk it over with the boys for a while.
That was on Tidwell.
Lob inside to Hathaway. The little guy underneath, shovel, pump, and everything. He can't find the range. Tim Hunt is in for the Jayhawks, number 15. As he will take the ball in for the Jayhawks, or make that go on defense now up against Madden. I don't understand the substitution practice there. Why they would substitute so late in the ball game. 4:02 left to go, 50-39. A whistle blows. And we got a foul.
That was on Matlock, his second.
Ike Johnson.
I think we're in the one-on-one situation now.
Now, I don't understand this at all either.
Might be a technical foul. No, either that or a timeout.
Got a timeout, and they're going to talk it over.
Matlock was complaining. Did he get a technical call on him?
I'd be willing to bet he did. Looks like he did.
Boy, he picked a bad time to pick up a technical.
He's going to shoot a one-on-one first.
And Kelly Starks makes it. He's got 9 points tonight.
7 of those are from the free throw line. He's 7 for 9 from the free throw line. So they got the right guy shooting.
This is a potential 5-point play.
Oh.
Now he shoots a technical and they get the ball.
So if they make the basket after they get the ball, that's the 5 points then.
Right.
Starks, no good. Kelly Starks, 10 points tonight. 52-39, 4:02 left to go. Victor Madlock came out of the game. Here we go now. Levette Marshall over to Gentry. Taken away by Hunt. Hunt knocks it out. I believe it's going to go to the E-Rabs. Yes, it is. Well, I don't know. The Jayhawks have a couple of people in there that seem to be a little bit tight. They put Hunt in, took Madlock out. And Zaire hasn't been in for a long time. Coming down with a rebound is Mason. I can't figure out why they don't have Matt Zaire in there. Free throw, or make that the field goal is good by Zane Hathaway.
He's 11 for 18 from the field.
And 22 points. Levette Marshall, pull-up jumper, good. Oh, you can't trade right now. You have to get the advantage. 54-41, 3:14 left to go. Hunt over to Zane Hathaway. Hathaway in trouble. Back to Hunt. Hunt will pump. Shot, no good. And Madden comes down with it, and a foul is going to be called on Woods. Well, I'll tell you what, fellas. 4 fouls on Woods. I tell you what, win or lose, you have to be looking at Hathaway here as a most valuable player. It's been done before. And he got 22 points, and he's carried the brunt of the burden for the Jefferson J-Hawks here tonight. At least trying to get them into it anyway.
He's played an outstanding game. I think Levette Marshall has played a fine game for East High, too. He's sitting with 18 points, pulled on a lot of rebounds.
There's Madden. Madden coming up there, too. He's 9 tonight at 9 points.
7 of those have been in the second half.
But he has seemed to have been a second-half ball player this year. Second shot by Madden. It falls in. 10 points for the big guy. Here comes Hunt now. He gets the pick for Woods. Then over to Mason. Mason trapped. Here's Zane. He'll shoot it. The thrower. God! Holy cow!
He would have had about 3 or 4 three-point plays in this game if they'd allowed that.
24 points by Zane Hathaway. There's Levette Marshall. He's blocked from behind. And I really think that Thorson got all ball that time, except that he got him from behind a little bit.
That's 4 fouls for him.
Looks like he got him with the body a little bit there.
Jefferson has 3 men with 4 fouls, so might see a couple foul out before the game's over.
56-43. E-Rabs lead it here tonight. And there is 42 seconds left to go. Or make that 2:42 left to go. Marshall cans it at the free throw line. 19 points for Marshall tonight. 6'1", 170-pound senior. Here comes Marshall, his second shot away. No good. Ricochets in and out. Woods with a rebound. And Gentry's going to take it away. You can see it coming for a mile. And there's a foul called on Mason.
And that'll be 5 for him. He'll be out. He leaves the game with no points. He shot 3 times from the field.
It was not a performance to write home about.
Is he a senior? Is he coming back, or is that it for Mr. Mason?
Well, I think he's a junior. That'll be it anyway. No, that was a terrible thing to say.
You'll be getting letters, Brian.
Yeah. No, I know him. He's a senior.
There goes 5 sponsors.
Yeah. Gentry at the line. Put it in. For Gentry tonight, 5 points. 5'11", senior. And the ball goes out of bounds. That should go to East High School. And let's see. Now they're going to give it to Jefferson. 58-43, 2:35 left to go. Zane Hathaway, he won't fire that time. Really took a bad pass. Here comes Kelly Starks. Odell Tidwell, he's trapped by Woods. 2:10 and counting. 58-43. Boy, Jayhawks really need to get the ball away here. They can't just be playing good defense. They've got to be playing great defense, as is tried there. It will go to the E-Rabs. Coming into the ball game, Steve Irvin for the E-Rabs. As you take a good look at him on the screen, Gentry gets the inbound. Inside to Madden. Madden drives, kicks the ball, 3-point play.
Ooh. Must have hit a Jefferson player because he...
Ooh, they gave that to East. Now I see what you're oohing about, Chad. There's Madden, free throw line into Levette Marshall. Boy, he threw that one up there one-handed, and he put it in.
21 points.
21 points for Marshall tonight. Hunt inside to Thorson. His shot good, plus the basket's going to count. Well, for Thorson tonight, he's got 10 points. At the free throw line will go Thorson. (60-45). Thorson shot away, good. So for Thorson tonight, 11 points. Things sort of slow down. Seems like things slow down quick-like with about 2 minutes to go, and we have substitutions here. Here come the E-Rabs. Ball goes out of bounds. It will go to them. It was last touched by a Jayhawk. Minute 26 left to go in the period and the game, and it's 60-46. Chad, it looks like a good night for the Jayhawks here at home.
Yeah, East High's got they got all their subs in now, except for Marshall, and looks like they're pretty confident in winning this one.
And speaking of Marshall, his shot no good. And then we have a tremendous fight under the boards.
That's what happens. You get the last 2 minutes of the game when you got a 14, 15-minute spread. They throw in all the shock troops, and last 2 minutes seems like it takes half hour.
It sure does.
I learned that term from Alex Zadarkis, by the way, so if anybody says anything.
What was that term anyway?
Shock troops.
Okay. I can understand it. Scott Coor comes in now for the Jayhawks, as does just about everybody else. The fans are, well, they must think there's a plague or something. I mean, they are all walking out of here. 60-45. E-Rabs lead it here with 58 seconds left to go. Clock is winding down. Hopefully both coaches will be up here in the booth after the ball game. There's the steal. Hutt takes it away. Bounce pass. Here they come. Jayhawks taken away by the E-Rabs. Here comes Kelly Starks. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's try to figure out who these players are first of all.
You might as well give up. I think they're bringing the whole school in.
I don't see Matt Zayer's in. Who I don't understand why Zayer wasn't in longer than he was this particular ball game. At the free throw line, Keith Hightower. No relation to Darrell Hightower, who played last couple of years for the E-Rabs, as we just saw an air ball at the free throw line.
Need some glasses there for him.
I thought mine were bad for a while. There, Hightower puts it home. Keith Hightower, number 14. And I've never seen anything quite like, everybody is standing up here. There isn't anybody sitting down on this side, as maybe they're ready to congratulate the E-Rabs.
Now, they gave him that basket, didn't they, even on the foul?
I don't know. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they have it up on the board.
Pretty good indication that...
Thank you, Brian.
And there's the shot. Up and in.
Who is number 40? Do you know?
Scott Coor. Number 40, Scott Coor. His shot up and good. Over to Hightower, and the shot away. Good! Keith Hightower. 63-48. E-Rabs lead it here. They're not even giving up with their shock troops in there. There's a shot up and away. Beautiful. Tony Sanders. Here they come now. It's a racehorse game. Keith Hightower's taking the last 15 shots. He will not pass the ball. There's a pretty cheerleader for East High School. 63-50, 13-point lead for the E-Rabs. This place is cleared out. drastically. You can see in the upper corner of your screen, left-hand side, nothing. There's nobody there. A few real faithful fans. Hightower.
5 points.
Here they come now. There's there. Shot from the hip. No good. Rebound comes out of the E-Rabs, and that's the final score. 65-50. East over Jefferson. That's the final score. Right here at Jefferson High School, and we'll be back after this at WPTI Sports, where the action is.
I'm U.S. Representative Lynn Martin. TV has changed our lives, but sometimes national TV doesn't tell us all we want to know about ourselves or our community. Well, now we'll have WPTI, and we can support it, watch it, and listen to it, because it's going to be our station in our town. Support WPTI, the new public television in Rockford.
Welcome back, everybody. Brian right along with Chad Kaufman and Dave Westman, who's frantically getting ready all of the statistical information. And our most valuable player for tonight's ball game, and oddly enough, it is not from the winning team. Zane Hathaway will chalk up the most valuable player award from WPTI Sports. And inside the Nick 10, the final score here tonight was 65-50. It was the E-Rabs over the Jefferson J-Hawks. Zane Hathaway did a great job here tonight. He canned 24 points, and oddly enough, he was not on the winning team. Nevertheless, we felt as though he did the best job here tonight. He really took a lot of action for the Jayhawks to keep them relatively in this ball game, especially in the third and fourth period, especially the fourth period. So what we have is a situation where the E-Rabs have won here tonight, depending on what Freeport has done. If Freeport lost tonight to Hononegah, then we will have a tie in the Nick 10 Conference Championship between the E-Rabs and the Jefferson J-Hawks. And we'd like to just thank the fine folks here at Jefferson High School for their courtesy. They've really provided for us quite well. And we'd also like to thank the Stadium Lounge for providing all the food for tonight's ball game. They, of course, are the home of the Stadium Burger. You don't want to miss out on the Stadium Lounge. They got food that you just wouldn't believe. And coming up, they got Levette Marshall coming up here, and maybe we could talk to him for a while. And Zane Hathaway, we hope, will be up here too. We'll get Levette Marshall up here in just a few minutes. But it's an exciting contest here. We can get Levette to just sit down here for a couple of minutes, and we'll talk to him about the game. He had a super performance as well. Dave, I had him for 21 points, and we can check with that a little bit later. But my goodness, what a game it was. It was a third period burst by the E-Rabs. It seemed to really take the sting right out of Jefferson. And Levette Marshall is with us right now. Levette, a tremendous third period. You came down with 21 points in total. What do you think was the key in that third period where you could really blow things wide open?
Well, Mr. Johnson gave us a real good pep talk in the locker room, and he told us that we had to get rougher and think with our heads and play better, and I think that did the job.
Did you think you got rougher, or do you think that you just started shooting a little bit better and maybe went more aggressively?
Well, we did go a little aggressively. I think the key was getting more rebounds and running more.
Okay. Levette, before the ball game, I was in the locker room for the Jefferson J-Hawks, and they drew up a diagram on how to beat the pressure of you guys, the full court press. And it happened a couple of times, 2 or 3 times here tonight. And did Ike Johnson, your head coach, tell you that you should really get things squared away and not let that happen again?
Yeah, we have a play where you jump when a guy is dribbling up court. Another guy jumps to him. And he told us to do that more often, and that'll stop the...
Levette, you think you guys are ready for the regional tournament?
Yes, we're definitely ready.
Okay. Levette Marshall, thank you very much for joining us here on WPTI Sports. And coming up next, we will be talking with Ike Johnson, the head coach for the E-Rabs. And we're looking forward to talking with him in just a few minutes here. But the final score, once again, is 65-50. The E-Rabs take it home. And depending on what happened with Freeport tonight, and Hononegah, I think very capable of beating Freeport here, is make that at Freeport. Could be tough, but if Freeport lost tonight, and the E-Rabs indeed have won here tonight, then therefore we could have a tie in the Nick 10 Conference Championship. As we take a look at the standings right now, we see that Freeport is 13-4, depending on how they did tonight against Hononegah, 13-4, and they were 16-8 overall. East ends up their season with a 13-5 record, and that's good enough if Freeport loses tonight to tie this thing up. They had a 12-10 record overall, and boy, I'm telling you, it was a good ball game all the way down the stretch. And in us right now at the booth is Ike Johnson, the head coach for the E-Rabs. The third quarter, man, you guys really took charge. What happened?
Well, I think that we just started playing a lot better. My assistant coach, Mike Carroll, he noticed that at one time out there we had four seniors out there, plus Odell Tidwell, and I think that helped us quite a bit having the experience out there on the floor.
Coach, what about the regional tournament coming up? I know there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen, what should happen. But what about you guys as a team? Are you ready?
Well, I think as a coach, most of the time you're never really satisfied with the way your kids play. I think that Guilford is probably playing better than anyone in the conference right now. But I think that, we're seeded number one, and I think that we should win it. I think that we've got better players and, better personnel in general. It just depends on if we can get everyone playing together. An example of that was the first half. We didn't have everyone playing together. I told them they looked like a bunch of 5 individuals out there just playing. And then later on, we started looking for open people. We started playing a little bit more team defense. And we got a couple breaks. Kelly Starks was very instrumental in pulling off that victory for us. It was probably one of his best games since he's been at East High School.
Any special preparation for the regionals coming up now?
Well, we can't have any special preparations yet until after Monday to see who's going to win the Belvedere-Guilford game. So right now we're really going to be working on the things that we have to do in order to win, and not necessarily working on what we have to do in order to stop these other teams from scoring.
Ike, thank you very much for joining us up at the booth here at WPTI, okay?
Okay.
And good luck in the regionals. Mm-hmm. That's Ike Johnson, the head coach for the East High School E-Rabs here tonight, and we really feel that he did a great job here as far as coaching. And Dave Westwood, you have all the stats. That's coming up in just a little bit. And great basketball game here tonight. 65-50 was the final score. The E-Rabs took charge here tonight in the third period, 65-50. And that was the final score. Dave, you think that turnovers really didn't play a real big factor here tonight, and we will elaborate on those in just a little bit.
Not as much as the rebounds, as I think we'll see when the screen comes up a little bit later.
Zane Hathaway in the booth with us right now. Unusual thing happened here tonight. Why, Zane, we voted you as the most valuable player for tonight's contest. You wrapped home 24 points in total. It was for a losing cause, but a winning effort on your part. How do you feel right now?
I don't know. We played a good ball game. We moved the ball around well. First game, we moved the ball around very well, and we got good shots, and it just fell apart on us, They got us into the running game, and if we get into the running game, we're lost, because we got a short bench, and if we get in foul trouble, when we started getting in foul trouble, and it was just all over,
You got 24 points tonight. Do you think that on a different night where the scoring was more even, that it might have been a different story?
It'd have been, I think, a closer game. Although we held it, we got within 4 over there at East, but we played catch-up ball the whole game. And there at the end, we had to play catch-up ball there too. And I don't know. I think it might have been a closer game, but we've had a lot more average scoring. And we've lost the games too by a lot. So,
yeah,
the ball games can go either way.
Yeah.
You just you don't know how it's going to happen.
Zane, thank you very much for joining us up here in the booth, and we appreciate your fine performances that we've seen this year. And also, you know, your last couple of years, you've done a great job here at Jefferson High School. Thanks for joining us up in the booth.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. We'd also like to thank the John's Pizza at 11th Street for providing food for tonight's ball game. Delicious pizza all the time, year-round. And boy, you ought to try some of that. Up in the booth with us right now is the head coach for the Jefferson J-Hawks, Ed Harriman. And, Coach, I tell you what, it's a season where it seems like sometimes you can beat anybody in the world, then you turn around and have a close one like tonight. What happened in that third period, do you think?
Well, I think we probably had just a little bit let down defensively, and I don't think you can do that against probably a good shooting club, and East High does have a lot of ball players that they can shuffle in and out, and they're a little bit tougher probably on the boards than we are. So I think that was probably, you know, the difference that third quarter.
Well, you take a look and you see, we see that 24 points by Zane Hathaway. I bet you wish that some of the scoring would have been a little bit more rounded off.
Yeah, I think we're getting a lot of points from Zane and probably Vic Madlock all year. We haven't been able to probably get enough other ball players probably to come through. And I think tonight now, probably that second quarter, is we had, I think, a 10, 14-point lead on them, and we let them back in the ball game. And that right before halftime was crucial.
Did it bother you going into the contest that here you were 5-12 in the conference, and then East was just the other way around, 12-5. You didn't play like it tonight. As a matter of fact, things looked real strong for you, real good for you up until that third period, and then things seemed to sort of flitter away.
Well, I think probably East had a little more at stake. I think the main reason was that, you know, if they win tonight and Freeport loses, then they're a tie for first place. So they probably had a little bit more of an edge, and probably their season has went a little bit better than ours too. So I think mentally they came in probably maybe a little bit more prepared for the game than we were. However, I think sometimes on a senior night, you can get some of your seniors up and they can play a tremendous game, and I think that's probably what Hathaway did tonight.
Okay. Coach, thank you very much for joining us up here in the booth at WPTI
You're
Sports.
welcome.
Okay, Ed Harriman, the head coach for the Jefferson J-Hawks, and by golly, Dave, it was a game that was hard to keep track of statistically, but I believe you've got everything ready to go.
Well, I hope so, Brian. I think they're at least reasonably accurate statistics. Again, the final score, East E-Rabs 65, Jefferson 50. Up on the board there, you can see the percentages. Both teams shooting very well from the field, 47% and 43%. E-Rabs were 24 for 51 from the field. Jefferson was 23 for 54. Free throw department, E-Rabs shot 28 free throws in the game, made 17. Jefferson was 4 for 10. Obviously shot a lot fewer free throws in the East E-Rabs. Foul trouble was an important factor later on in the game. Jefferson had the 21 fouls. No one fouled out, although they did have 4 men in foul trouble. Rebound situation, this is where the big difference is probably in the game. The rebounds for the East E-Rabs, as you can see, out-rebounded 50-27. And I think that's really where most of the difference in this game is. Turnovers, again, East E-Rabs 18-14 for Jefferson. Let's take a look at some of the leading scores for the game. For the East E-Rabs, they had